The idea was that I wanted to create a group where we could play sounds that were inspiring me at the time, so lots of down-homey Celtic kitchen fiesta music, and then also, you know, Eastern European music that I was getting into. It can be very unapologetic, you know, we are here, we're making noise together, and I feel like the music that inspires me the most is very affirmative and joyful. Kitchen and orchestra both meant those things to me. I also respond to music very viscerally, so like often in rehearsal it'll be like using food adjectives to try and get musically what we want. Because I don't know, food is satisfying and music is satisfying.
I like to sometimes call the style of music we play a folk fusion, because it is really like a mix of this Celtic background, these Eastern European backgrounds that Hayley mentioned, but still in the folk world. We still feel like a folk festival act, but we're the one that kind of is a little bit weirder and more quirky, I guess.
I think it's true.
We interact a lot on stage. Like, I think when we go up to play, there's no real preconceptions. Everyone's sort of along for the ride, and I think that includes the audience. We're always improvising and laughing and just having a good time with it.
I want audience members to be engaged, and I often think about my family, and there's musicians in my family and non-musicians in my family, and I really feel like Kitchen Orkestra is a great band for anyone, I guess, because there's intricacies, but there's also really animated and story-based music, like by Mir Bistushin.
Hayley will often, even if we don't tell it to the audience, she'll tell us the story of what the song is about before we play it. So she's like, all right, just picture you're like, there's one Hungarian Dreams, where it's like, you're on a dusty road in Hungary in like the 1800s, and the man's got like a single cigarette.
You had raven hair, didn't you?
The raven hair, right, yeah, of course, he has the raven hair. And there's just stories like that for all the songs, so it really makes it a lot of fun to sort of try and bring the audience on the journey, even if they don't even know where exactly they're going.
A ballad we really like to play in this group is called Anything, and it is a song or a piece that I put lyrics to an existing instrumental tune, and the lyrics sort of came about very, very naturally at a time in my life where things were not easy, and I was thinking about how easy it would be to throw in the towel on certain things. And the whole ballad is just about committing to life in all of its good and bad deliverances, and, you know, even though you really don't know what's ahead of you, sort of committing to life.
The compositions that work the best with this band are the one where everyone gets to sort of have their own voice, you know? No one's playing second fiddle, no pun intended. Felix has a real gift for bringing in some really abstract rhythms compared to the traditional folk stuff. And I think a lot of the time that's what gives it that flavor that really, you know, differentiates us from another Celtic band or another folk band with this instrumentation. Recording our first album was a really fun experience. We had a bunch of thoughts about the ways we could do it. In the end, the smartest way to do it was just try to make it as organic as possible, as much like one of our live shows. I think it ended up with an album that's pretty reflective of how we play as a band live.
A really special night was our album release. We've been playing lots of shows in different communities for the past year, and so many familiar faces showed up and were so excited to celebrate with us, and we were so happy to have an album to send home with people. I just felt like we were all so focused, but also the audience was as focused as we were on the music, and it was really about who's there tonight and what does it feel like tonight. It's very, very special. I think that's why I play music, is that exchange between audience and band in this case.